Speedrunners Arena, and welcome in to a Super Metroid Randomizer accessible weekly ladder race here on Speedrunners Arena. I'm Ferran Burgundy. I'll be bringing the action to you here in this 5-person race. We have featured on stream, we have ProPiece, Chrono, 00713, just 0 for short, and we have Ray as well. And then off stream we have Diddy Kong featured as well. And it looks like we have the countdown commencing. We are underway, and we have some unique ship sprites that are customizable as part of the randomizer. And everyone's going to make their way down to the first spot, the one item that is guaranteed not to be randomized, and that is the Morph Ball. That is going to be in its vanilla location. Now, you will see along the way, and I can't emphasize this enough, some various tricks that are not expected. Let's see, is anybody... Yep, in this case, Zero doing the Moonfall. That is not expected to do this, and we've got a prediction up. Which suit will be found first? Will it be the Various suit, which will allow access down into Norfair, or will it be the Gravity suit, which will allow access to the aquatic world of Meridia? And yes, you see the numbers aside the various runners' names, ranging in the 960 to 975 range. That has to do with the ladder points, basically their scoring that occurs. So this is a very even matchup from what you see here on stream, as all 4 runners pick up the Morph Ball and are now going to head on over into the further sections of Blue Brinstar to try to get whatever items that will allow them greater access throughout the land. And we're starting off here with a super missile at the construction zone. Normally that's just a standard missile. By contrast, Diddy is almost 200 points higher at a 1097. Well, that's good. We'll keep it even here on the stream, and if everything goes chalk, that means that Diddy will finish well ahead of everyone. And up in the ceiling, this is another not expected skill trick. We have the missile, and we've got Screw Attack right at the other missiles to the right of the ceiling. So that's a nice early find that will make taking out the enemies considerably easier. So Zero with a slight lead back to the elevator that will go up into Crateria. And utilizing that Screw Attack, they will be able, our runners, to check the old Mother Brain spot here in the pit room. As normally you need bombs or power bombs, but the Screw Attack just goes right through it like a hot knife through butter. And an energy tank for the troubles. And that is a good point. That early Screw Attack means that bombs might not be at Bomb Terizo. Usually it's either power bombs or bombs, but this does allow access to some other things, as you can use the Screw Attack to head over to the left toward Terminator. But first, we have this wall climb here in the tower, the climb shaft, the bane of my existence. But that's why I'm here in the commentator's booth and not playing the game. So Chrono, yep, heading on up here, as we can't check the 230 missile location without any type of bomb. So off our runners go into the Bomb Terizo room. Chrono going to be the first, and it is some power bombs. Now that is logically going to allow access, so it's going to be either bombs or power bombs, as what you'll probably see our runners do momentarily, what is known as the Alcatraz, that allows you to get out of this trapped area without using bombs. That is not required to complete the seed, but runners got skills, yo, so they're gonna at least attempt to do it here. Chrono, thank you for making a liar of me. Same thing with Pro Piece, who decides to use the power bomb, but that's the thing. People have different skill levels here. Zero able to take care of it, the Alcatraz, but that just shows the numerous ways to which you can go through here. And now we're going to get a look, thanks to those power bombs, at the 230 missile spot. Pro Piece going to be the first one there, and it is our regular bombs. So that does technically allow for some up logic, as infinite bomb jump is a way to get into higher areas. And yes, that is technically French vanilla, as the bombs are normally at that Bomb Chorizo spot. Now we're going to see a screw attack over to Terminator here. And we're going to see our first divergence, as we've got Spring Ball over at the Terminator E-Tank spot. And we've got a few of our runners heading over to the east as well, so now things get a little interesting here. We've got power bombs at the moat. And it looked like grapple beam and an energy tank. Up in the back of Gauntlet. So Ray going to be the first here into the Gauntlet. And meanwhile, Pro Piece is going to give us a look into Green Brinstar. So we have missiles, we have Wave Beam up in the front of Gauntlet. And we've got Space Jump in... Oh, wow. That is a fantastic early find, and up at the landing site PB, we have an energy tank as well. So, access going pretty nicely here, as the quote-unquote early super missile, as that's what you do in the speed run. That is a vanilla super missile in this case here. And so much was going on so quickly that I missed Ray taking a death in that room, so we at least know what it is, but not able to be picked up here. Pro Piece now heading on down into Edacoons, as we have a little bit of overlap between the other three runners. We've got super missiles right in front. And more in the back. So here we are, not even 10 minutes in. We've got a lot of early finds so far. That Space Jump making mincemeat of the room. And we have missiles up at the Edacoons PB spot. Yeah, Zero taking a lot of acid damage, but is able to get through, and is going to be very happy to see that energy tank, as well as the grapple beam. Yeah, the space jump is acquired out of logic, as you would normally need the speed booster to get that. But a lot of runners utilizing the mock ball to be able to access it. And now up in the top of Big Pink, we've got an energy tank. And now heading here to Mission Impossible. I believe that is super missiles as well. And even more super missiles here at the bottom. And at the vanilla charge spot, we've got just some standard missiles. As Zero now picks up the space jump. Yeah, focus being put here at the moment on Pro Piece's side because, well, he's providing us the look at the items that we haven't seen as of yet, the exploration that we haven't seen as of yet. The other three runners are doing a little bit of backtracking here. And are all in various parts of Green Brinstar. So now we've got the Spore Spawn skip on Pro Piece's side, and it's some more super missiles. So at the 12-minute mark, the accessibility has been pretty good, but we're still running without either of the major suits. First trying the Wavegate skip on Pro Piece's side. And it's some missiles. Oh, and our tracker, Reem Octurus, noting, thank you for calming this. Well, I'm glad to be able to provide a little bit of help here. I know it's been a bit since I've commentated here for the community, as there have been a couple of other tournaments that have been running concurrently, plus some IRL things that have demanded my time. But it is good to be back, and, well, even better that you've got me here. It looks like Chrono, well, having the wave beam did not need to do the skip, because it was unnecessary. As we have a reserve tank over at the Sonic Pipe Missile. And let's see, is Pro Piece going to head back into the other part of Big Blue with the space jump? I would imagine so. And what a find for going back there. We've got Spazer. It's a weapon upgrade here in Pro Piece. I guess recognizing, oh yeah, no more power bombs, can't go over and do Billy Mays. Well, the Mother Brain tank was checked earlier, as Screw Attack allows you to get down there. Unless MB is an abbreviation for something else. which is entirely possible because acronyms and abbreviations seem to be the way of the world, or so I saw in a recent insurance commercial. We'll leave it at that to not give any free publicity. Now, if we can get some money out of that doggone lizard thing, then that might be a whole nother story. And yes, I know what it actually is. That's part of the fun. All right, so we have Zero now is going through Wavegate, going to get the missile in a moment. Pro Piece backtracking to what we already saw, and now Chrono heading into, well, what would normally be Red Tower, but here it's more of an aquamarine tower, I suppose. Because color palettes. And we're going to get our first look at X-Ray. And it's an energy tank, which Chrono's going to pick up. Phaser now over on Zero's side. And with 4 power bombs, we're likely going to get our first look here at Billy Mays as Pro Piece picks up the wave beam in the front of Gauntlet. And apparently you can screw attack through that. I had no idea. But regardless, speaking of commercials earlier, Billy Mays here for... Oh, wow. Buy one, get one free on the energy tanks in Billy Mays. Didn't even give me the chance to say, but wait, there's more. Thanks, Zero. And with that, I blinked and missed at the Spazer check, and that was a super missile. As Ray now going to give us a look at X-Ray, which we saw was an E-tank. And Chrono's going to head on over to the warehouse. We've got a check on the side here. And that is a super missile going to be picked up. Meanwhile, Pro Piece heading on over to the moat. As we have our first boss fight just over 19 minutes in, Chrono in Kraid's room. Will we see the Kraid quick kill? Looks like we see supers at the mermaid missile location. And was a little high with the first shot, so we're going to be dancing at the prom here with Kraid. So more of a Kraid quick-ish kill. And behind Kraid, looks like super missiles. And it is. So Pro Piece now heading on over into the spooky missile location. And balked at it so quickly, it looks like... Figured, alright, I have enough super missiles for now, we're good. Alright, so we have a Fantoon fight on Pro Piece's side, and we've got Varia's suit, the first to be found. French vanilla as well in the warehouse E-Tank frog room, or cricket room. So those who wagered the channel points on Varia, you're a winner. And those who didn't, remember, it's all in fun. Bet with your head, not over it. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. So now down into Upper Norfair goes Chrono. And it looks like is gonna... Oh, okay, gonna do a little bit of an out-of-logic hell run here. And gets it. That requires a mock ball. As Kraid goes down on Ray's side. Zero about to head into the Kraid fight, and we have an energy tank at Vanilla Ice Beam. Fantoon going down here for Pro Piece, and thank you for the raid from Theron77, not to be confused with Furon, which is my first name here. Although I've had my name mispronounced as Farron on quite a few occasions. So I know the struggles. And we've got a super missile over at the Crumble Shaft. Meanwhile, up in the wrecked ship, Pro Piece going to give us a look at the wrecked East super missile location, and it's just a missile. The seed's been pretty generous in the early going. We had Space Jump in the upper part of Green Brinstar, as we have a missile at the High Jump E-Tank location. And that looks to be Speed Booster over on the west there. So Pro Piece feels the need for speed. Yeah, early bombs, early screw attack, pretty early space jump. Our runners just found Varia. Alright, we do have the save attempt here. So Pro Piece in the spiky room of death. And a reserve tank was in the high jump boot location, which was left behind. And we've got a super missile over in the cathedral. Meanwhile, the wreck ship Death E tank is vanilla. Yeah, quite a bit of divergence here, and we'll see which gamble is the one that pays off. As we've got an E-tank over in the bubble missile spot. And behind the green door, the usual missiles in this case look to be supers. Now you'll notice that I say look to be a lot. It's because the footage that I'm looking at is a bit grainy, so I have my feed, and then I have the feed that you're watching as kind of a confirmation of something that I may miss or misidentify or something of that nature. And it looks like we have missiles and power bombs in the Norfair Reserve area. And at the end of the conveyor belt was just some missiles. Had to go back and look at that one because ProPiece noped out of it so quickly. And here's where that speed booster goes into effect, and we've got a reserve tank up top. Meanwhile, I believe that was missiles and more missiles up in the speed booster area. An E-tank down in the double chamber missiles. And a power bomb over at the Wavegate beam location. So far as in terms of what you see on the screen here, it's like the old Sesame Street bit. One of these things is not like the other. As Zero, Ray, and Chrono all seem to be pretty well traversing along the same path, and ProPiece is the outlier. But ProPiece has found the speed booster up in the wrecked ship. And we've got a set of missiles. And vanilla gravity suit. So it's definitely a stacked ship, though I didn't see what was in the wrecked reserve spot. I don't know if that was checked or not. Yeah, I guess figuring that there wasn't anything of need, decided to hold off with it, as we're now going to get a look up in Brinstar at the alpha and beta checks. And the beta room just has some missiles. Meanwhile, we have croc fights galore, and we have missiles at the end of croc. We've got supers in front. And it looks like more supers in the back. Ovaria, OK Beamer, is chilling in French vanilla. It is in the frog room after Kraid. So looking over in Croc's lair here, we've got a missile up top. And a missile down there as well. In the cosine room. And it looks like some missiles up in the Indiana Jones spot. That's vanilla. And let's take a look at Grapple Beam, as we're going to get a waterway check over on Pro Piece's side. And just some missiles. I think that was also missiles at the gravity spot. Yes, it was. Or grapple spot, not gravity. Yeah, I would say everything coming up Pro Piece, although it's going to take a little bit of a detour here to check Blue Brinstar. Which, if you're looking for some more energy, it's good. Because I believe, yeah, Pro Piece did not have power bombs earlier, and now has to use a couple there. So Chrono going to give us our first look at the Croc escape. And it's some super missiles. Yeah, being in this area, there is a good possibility that Climb Supers, though out of logic because no Ice Beam, I believe, I could be wrong on that. Maybe it's just out of my logic because I'm not good at making those jumps. But either way, sees the double E. Oh, it is out of logic. Okay. I just presume that if I can't do it, it must be in logic, because I don't know. A lot of people are better at this game than I am. So back over to Ice Beam. It's going to be an E-Tank here for 0. So every check has been made in Brinstar and Upper Norfair thus far. And we're not going to see a climb super check, it looks like, for Pro Piece. And the one detraction to Screw Attack is taking out those ledges, which means if you don't get something right, the fall is so much further. And boy, have I fallen on that multiple times. But Chrono makes it look easy. And this will be Pro Piece's first foray into X-Ray. Not that you'd have multiple forays into X-Ray necessarily. I mean, barring a death, I suppose. And here's the Alpha Double Super. Over on Chrono's side. And you have to wonder, among Chrono, Ray, and Zero, if the realization is starting to kick in of, oh no, I gotta get over to the ship. There's a Spazer pickup for Ray. And a little off-stream notification. Diddy currently over at the Crocomire location. And Chrono now going to head over towards the wrecked ship. Pro Piece, meanwhile, is going to be the first to at least bomb over and open up Meridia. But first has some Kraid to do. And that will be a very wise check. Pro Piece doesn't know it yet. As that will give access to the Varia suit. Zero now checking Alpha and Beta. Ray... Oh, that's right. It doesn't have speed, so can't check the... Well, I mean, could probably give it a look, but without the speed booster, yeah, you don't really want to double back to that necessarily. So there's the Spooky Supers for Chrono. Ray heading up and... heading to the east. And Zero right there as well. Kraid goes down fairly quickly here for Pro Piece. Okay, and the Maze Missile was Supers. I didn't see that earlier. So we've got a Fantoon fight over on Chrono's side. Mermaid Supers for Zero, and Ray passing on the E-Tank up in the landing site PB. And there's the Varia suit for Pro Piece, the first of our featured runners to get both suits. And apparently the first off-stream as well, as I'm being told that Diddy got speed from Lower Norfair, but skipped Lower Wreck ship, but then dipped out from the rest as Phantoon goes down here for Chrono. And now we've got a Meridia check here for Pro Piece. And it looks like, what, Supers and X-Ray. That puts an ever so slight possibility of microwave on the table. The combination of the plasma beam, charge beam, and X-ray, which allows for quick work of Meridia's boss Dragon. So super missiles up top in the Mama Turtle E-Tank spot, and our hidden missiles are even more supers. Zero working on the Phantoon fight. Ray about to start it as well. Pro Piece charging through Meridia, and we're going to head on up to Yellow Meridia, take a look at those couple of checks. And decides to pick up the power bombs behind the false wall. And we have a pair of checks here in the watering hole. Power bombs and an E-Tank. And Ray using the super missile a little early, and Phantoon going into the fiery hissy fit. There's the speed booster pickup for Zero. And here we are in Aqueduct, and well, Ice to see you too. And some missiles as well. And that is a nice backup if you don't have speed, but yeah, I don't think our runners necessarily want to do any type of ice clip or anything like that. So here is Bot Woon. Scariest eel that comes out to play until Super Mario 64 bucked that trend. And definitely one-upped it with some nightmare fuel that I still have to this day. And Zero with the reset, seeing the energy tank. And high jump boots at the Botwoon E-tank spot. Yeah, you're right. Microwave is missing. I mean, we do know where the X-ray is. That's over in the Mount Everest Supers. But charge and plasma are outstanding. I don't think we're going to see it here from Pro Piece. At least the checks that are around here, as we have the Dragon fight. Oh, there's the gravity suit pickup for Chrono. And is in fact heading all out of there. And Dragon goes down. And looks like we're not going to see a check of Vanilla Space Jump. We'll see if Zero or Ray give us a peek here at what might be at Wrecked Reserve. Something tells me Pro Piece isn't going to be doing any more checks the rest of the way through. Unless it's something right in the path. Well, Zero says no. Exactly. Something at perhaps the Power Bombs of Shame is probably all we're going to see here down in Lower Norfair. I mean, between our four runners, 80 of the 100 checks have been at least seen, if not picked up. So Chrono doing the lava dive. Very easy with space jump and screw attack, as far as not taking damage. And Pro Piece, it looks like, is hot on the trail. Getting some refills here. Oh, Ray's picking up the missiles. We might see a wrecked reserve check here. Yes, we are. And it's a reserve tank. It's vanilla. And it looks like we're all heading down to Lower Norfair here. Hot time in the Old Town tonight. Now just missiles at the power bomb, a shame. So here's our first Ridley fight. And 30 super missiles later, there goes Ridley down. And just a missile behind Ridley, no refill there. Now Pro Piece on the Ridley fight as well. Chrono working on the Lower Norfair escape. Ridley down for Pro Piece. Zero starting the Ridley fight. Yeah, this is, I mean, I haven't seen Diddy's screen, but looking at Chrono and Pro Piece, I mean, they are pretty close apart, as we've got supers in the Escape PB room. My guess is just kind of taking a couple of peeks here at some potential offense that could help. And just missiles at the Spring Ball Maze location. That is vanilla. We're going to get a 3 Musketeer missile check. That's a super as well. Pro Piece doing the same checks, although I don't think anybody had looked at the Firefly Funhouse. I could be wrong. Now, that's the other note. Chrono still has to go through Meridia. Yeah, Pro Piece has been the most efficient thus far, hitting up Wreck Ship first and getting that gravity suit. And you can see it's been pretty close for the other 3 on screen here. Just some execution things being the major difference. So Pro Piece making the climb up the elevator. Red Bryn Star up to Criteria. It's a moment of calm before the proverbial storm. That is the rush. Through the final area. And here we go. Just under 70 minutes in, we have our first entrant into the final zone. Utilizing the freeze and those missiles on the Metroids here in Torian. Oh, and we do have a check over at Precious Missiles and its charge beam. And we're going to see a save here. Or are we? Yes, we are. Okay. Oh, and gets the... I'm so used to those annoying things, but I can't remember what they're called as far as the skip goes. I'm having a bit of a mental lapse here this morning for reasons unbeknownst to me. Zeb skip, thank you. Yeah, the word Zeb was just not entering my brain for whatever reason. And we're on the cutscene. It's nice to see as the race is going on that there are some folks providing some cheerings on, especially on Zero's side. And now without ice, the powerbomb strats on Chrono's side to take out those pesky Metroids. And now we've got the rainbow beam here on Pro Piece's side. Zero now making his way toward Torian. Ray just finishing off Bot Woon. And being told off stream that Diddy was going for the baby skip, did not get it, so it's going to be really close here with Chrono and with Diddy Kong. And here is the last bit of the escape for Pro Piece. And get out your GGs as Pro Piece is going to take first place in this race with an official race time of 68 minutes and 20 seconds. So now here is Chrono on the Mother Brain fight. As Ray using a little shock treatment to take out Dragon. The old grapple beam electrocution trick. Yeah, sure, we can bring folks in for an interview. Give us a variety of voices, since you've just heard me for the better part of the last hour and 15 minutes or so. And we are being joined in the booth by Pro Piece. Congratulations, GG, on a pretty interesting race.
Yeah, that was a race where just everything worked out in my favor, pretty much.
Yeah, in the outset, you were the first and only one to make the play to wrecked ship, and that I think was the difference. Is a lot of people were looking around for the gravity suit, and I believe even in Diddy's case, had taken out Fantoon in the wrecked ship and only did the first half of wrecked ship before skipping out of it.
Yeah, I almost didn't do wreck ship because I was thinking, oh, I don't have speed, so there's some checks I can't do. But then I found speed at left side super, so I did the full wreck ship, and it worked out because gravity was vanilla, and Vario was
As
almost
was
vanilla.
Plasma, as I'm looking here.
Yeah. I also, when I was going back down to like the Meridia area, I had like 50 supers, so I just thought, well, if I find ice or more power bombs, then I'll just go do ammo kill. And I found ice at wherever that is.
I think it was the Aqueduct missile.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And I believe, well, okay, it looks like Ray got it, but Chrono and Zero have not. Chrono's just getting on the escape now. Zero is on the penultimate form of Mother Brain. And it looks like Ray is saving at the ship to head on down there. And Diddy is not featured, so I'm not sure where Diddy is in the mix, but I've been getting updates from chat, and apparently it's really close here between Chrono and Diddy.
Where was Charge Beam?
Charge Beam was at Precious Missiles right before Dragon.
Oh, so I could have found it.
You could have found it, but yeah, you were at that point in, all right, let me just get everything I need. If it's anything even remotely out of the way, I'm not going to bother. Totally understandable.
Yeah, once I was at like 70 supers, I decided I was good enough and stopped checking things.
And Chrono with the last bit of the escape here. We got the cutscene on Zero's side. Ray just taking the elevator down into Torian now. And Chrono is going to take second place overall with an official race time of 73 minutes and 20 seconds. Exactly 5 minutes behind our winner pro piece.
I didn't expect to win by that much either. I was expecting through that entire like MB3 and escape that somebody was just gonna finish like 20 seconds before me, but
you were
apparently
you were waiting for the snipe as you're holding the run button down, basically.
Yeah, I was pretty much sprinting in the game, and then my other eye was looking at the race room, waiting for somebody to finish.
Well, apparently, yeah. I mean, it was pretty close between the other three on stream throughout. They all had pretty similar means, as we now see Diddy finishing just 70 seconds after Chrono with an official race time of 1 hour 14 minutes and 30 seconds. So now the finishes are trickling in here.
I also went to back to Blue Bryn because I ran out of power bombs originally, and that didn't work out because there was just E-tanks at Billy Mays.
Yeah, so that was when you had a significant lead, we had noticed that, and it was the realization of, oh yeah, there weren't the power bombs earlier, so
I think I only finished with 20. It was really scarce for power bombs for where I checked.
Ice Beam was in the Aqueduct. As Diddy joining in chat here. Yeah, it's always that thing, just that one thing that you miss out on checking. As Pro Piece had said, it was a pretty lookable check in Charge Beam. I mean, I don't know how much it would have helped, but
At that point, it wouldn't have helped. It was
Yeah.
just because super missile still would have been stronger because I just had spacer wave and ice, so it might have been a little bit stronger. But
A negligible difference.
yeah, just means if I ran out of supers, then I would have had a backup. But
Yeah, that's. But you felt with 70 supers that you were in a good position, which you were, winning the race, obviously.
yeah,
And we see here Zero finishing the escape and is on the ship and is hitting the dun and is going to take 4th place with an official race time of 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 12 seconds. So yeah, I mean, less than 8 minutes separating the top 4 runners. That's not that's not an insignificant amount of time. I mean, it's pretty close.
yeah. That's usually how these races go. Is somebody can find something early and then finish about 5 minutes earlier, and then everybody else is about tied.
And that's pretty spot on to what happened here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, just the play to go to wreck ship and full clear it, that was the notable difference in this case here. As Ray gets the Zeb skip on. I think I can count on one finger the number of times I've done that Zeb skip successfully.
But the amount of times I've done it on first try is also very slim.
Oh, it definitely wasn't first try on that solo instance, but that's neither here nor there. And Zero giving us a little look at the credits here, although I think we pretty well saw everything except for Plasma, since that was in vanilla. Yeah, that was the only thing that was omitted here. Of note, I guess, is probably a better way of putting it.
It was a really weird start too, because I'm not used to seeing screw attack, space jump, and spring ball this early.
Yeah, so I'm sure it threw a lot of your usual actions off.
Yeah, usually I go down immediately and go to Norfair and stuff. But since I had screw space, I decided to go check everything else. I think Main Street was a super missile, and then the supers on the other side, the crab supers was X-ray.
Yeah, the Mount Everest supers in Meridia.
I can never remember what it's called.
Oh, neither can I. I have a whole note sheet in front of me that lets me know, like, that's pretty much what I do throughout the entire race, is write down what was where. So that's kind of my, like, side tracking ability to kind of break the fourth wall a little bit here. So it's a little two-sided one-page chart that has all 100 locations, and in this case, I believe all but maybe a dozen were located at some point here. Let's see, 5 in Meridia, 1 in Crateria, and 5 in Lower Norfair. So yeah, all but 11.
I think the only criteria thing I didn't check was climb supers.
And that's the only one that's not on my list here. Nobody checked that. Unless Diddy did and we didn't have it on stream. Yeah, no climb supers, no sandpit checks, no shack tool, no gold chorizo, no Firefly Funhouse, and no everyone's favorite generic mouse. Everything else was checked between the four featured runners.
Hmm.
So we have Ray taking down Mother Brain and just the escape away from completing everything here, and should be about 15 minutes behind first place. Yeah, there seemed to be a lot of either vanilla or French vanilla in this seed. I mean, we saw Varia right in the frog room after Kraid. We saw Gravity Suit in its vanilla location, Plasma rolled vanilla. But before anybody asks, yes, this was indeed randomized.
I believe it was. I think the wreck ship reserve tank was also vanilla.
Yes, it was.
But I didn't pick it up because I don't usually pick up reserve tanks.
Oh, that's right. I was looking at that, and I thought for some reason you meant the wreck ship Death E-Tank, as I refer to it, since you have to go through the spiky room of death to get there.
Oh, that one was also an E-Tank as well.
Yes.
So both those items were vanilla.
And GG's to Ray, who is going to finish 5th overall with an official race time of 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 28 seconds. And we see a lot of comments from the racers in chat. Wanted to do lower movement to do lower Norfair and Croc was the last hope. Yeah, it seemed like the movement was there early. It was just that gravity suit being all the way up in wreck ship.
Yeah. The only thing I was missing was high jump. Well, I got it eventually, but the only thing I wanted for the longest time was high jump. But I can work without it if I hadn't found it.
Oh, that's right, and that was at the Botwoon E-Tank, if I recall correctly. And if I don't, that's why I have my notes right in front of me. So Ray has declined an interview, so I believe that's going to just about wrap it up here. Any last thoughts here, Pro Piece, before we figure out where or to whom to raid?
No, I think I've said about everything I've wanted to.
Well, at least that can make its way over air.
Yeah.
Well, that being said, as we see here, our next race is going to be a multiple versus multiple, and that's coming up in about 2.5 hours from now, 3 p.m. Eastern. It'll be a staggered Mayhem showcase that'll be coming up here. Make sure to give all of our runners a follow here. We have Chrono, Pro Piece, Ray, Zero, and Diddy Kong, who was not featured. Also, thank you to Reem Octoris for taking care of the tracking. And for all of us here at Speedrunners Arena, I'm Ferran Burgundy saying until next time, stay classy, my friends, stay safe, and see you next mission.